If you're thinking that exams are annoying and pointless, well, you have a point. We all know they're terrible and there is a lot wrong with them. They reward things like coaching, memorization, and they feed our anxieties. So let's talk about coaching. It's tragic that brilliant and motivated students who have no exam technique don't do well at exams, whereas mediocre kids who are coached in exam technique do very well, even though they may not have a lifelong interest. Actually, coaching is learning. We never enter a room without any knowledge of the topic. The coaching happens in the classroom, and we do learn from that. Imagine an Olympic athlete doing a race, never having done a race before. That's very unlikely. Just as they're taught to run, Olympiads are taught how to cope with the pressure. It's the same as us. We have SACs and tests that guide us in class towards that final goal. Every practice SAC is a mini exam where we learn how to cope with the pressure, the topic. If you're struggling like I do with time constraints, the question, the best way to do that is to do more practices under time conditions before the exam. Have someone to go through it with you. Unpack the question. Work out, what did I do wrong last time? It's really all about method, knowing exactly what information I have to draw on to answer the question. Secondly, exams don't cater for people with anxiety, right? They continue to cripple us with fear, inhibiting how well we think under time pressure. I used to think so, but now I'm not so sure. Actually, the immersion of exams causes us to confront and break down anxiety. It's scary, but coping with fears is enabling. This can actually be an incredibly empowering experience. It's up to us to confront anxieties. Feeding anxiety with comforts and avoidance only makes anxiety worse. If we avoid our fears, we feed our anxiety. We can't give in always, otherwise we'd be paralyzed. How we deal with anxiety is an excellent learning technique that lasts much longer than the finite period of the exam. And finally, memorizing. Sure, exams can often encourage memorization, which promotes shallow learning. It is dreadful that by memorizing, students don't necessarily understand the wider implications of the content. But testing memory isn't necessarily so artificial either, and everyone has the capacity to learn how to do it. Memory is vitally linked to ability and diligence, as with grammar in a foreign language. Sitting down to memorize verb conjugations and agreements is a key way to learn how to speak a foreign language. It's the only way to reproduce this in conversation. Testing for the knowledge can be a helpful measure of progress, a good way of overcoming nerves, a good indicator of skill, and a thrilling ego boost. Exams are actually really good for learning. It is the preparation, practice, and refining that we do prior to the exams that teach us. Everything we do for the exam is done in advance. We never enter the room empty-handed, not knowing what to say and not knowing how to say it. Exams force us to refine a topic to its essence as we learn, then to find the right word at the right time to explain what we have learnt. Exams teach us to work with time constraints. They teach us how to read questions carefully and strategically so that we can keep the diversity and depth needed to answer a question meaningfully. They force us to engage honestly with the complex ideas expressed simply and clearly. These are essential skills for life. We can love our ideas, take great pleasure in them, own and cherish our arguments, even if they are a bit calculated to appeal to the examiner. We can make them our own realities with the intimacy of our own page right in front of us, something that is so tangible that we are so excited to share with the entire world. Let's walk into that exam room and allow our passion, intensity, and ideas to come through with the best of our private headspace on the blank page right in front of us. Let's feel excited to have this experience. Let's not blame the exams for how much we have or have not prepared. Good luck, and let's enjoy this least painful of hashtag first world problems.